Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and this is my last review for today, catching up from this past week, and this is Brad's Status, and this is starring Ben Stiller, and about a man who's dealing with a midlife crisis trying to find his own self-worth while helping his son go out for interviews for college. Now, going into this film, I really liked the trailers. I had high expectations for this, and it has great reviews. I was slightly disappointed and turned off by this film, just slightly, but I did really enjoy this film. And this is directed and written by Mike White, that blonde guy from School of Rock, who I didn't realize was a talent behind, like, off the camera. And he helped write the Emoji Movie, but wrote and directed this film for Amazon. And he does a really cool job of using visual storytelling, because most of this film is, a lot of it is inner monologue by Ben Stiller. The visuals of what you see he's thinking about are done great. The actual voiceover for me turned me off a lot, and it's because it felt really pretentious, and the dialogue in his headspace felt really pretentious, talking down like I can't get what you're trying to convey, either by like what's going on around him, or even the visuals of showing what's going on in his head. I don't need you to spell it out for me, and that turned me off a lot throughout this film. And honestly, that's like the big thing that turned me off from this film. Overall, I did really enjoy this film though, and it does get a bit slow at times, but it's very real and relatable. You feel like you've dealt with situations like this, or thinking about these kinds of very real events going on in this man's life, and realizing how real it is to be able to look at somebody else's life from the outside and think that they have it so much better than you, and you feel a little jealous, but not realizing the worth that you have in your own life. And this does hit emotionally quite a bit, because you are able to connect with that and the feelings that Ben Stiller's character Brad are experiencing. Now, the cinematographer Xavier Grobe, the camera shots are very fluid and effective, and this is actually a really beautiful film, and is able to capture those real moments of characters, just like that physical acting and the choices that they're making. They did a fantastic job of capturing all those things with the camera work. And like I mentioned before, this was indeed written by Mike White, and it's a very relatable and moving story, because there's going to be a lot of times in your life where you feel these kinds of things, and they're able to convey them very well throughout the story. And in terms of the character, I feel like Brad's a bit much for me, and it gets a bit annoying, and I'll talk about that more with Ben Stiller's performance. But overall, I thought that they created an interesting collection of characters around him to fill out this story and fill out this film, and they were able to capture unbelievably uncomfortable real moments of dealing with status and just awkwardness. And overall, I thought the dialogue was very powerful and meaningful, except, as I mentioned, some of the voiceover was a bit heavy-handed and very pretentious to me. But it does dig really deep in terms of dealing with class. And there's a scene in an airport about this woman, like, talking down to him about upgrading his tickets on a flight, or being able to just see him sitting on the plane looking up at business class, and then closing that curtain right in front of him, and just being able to visualize that and realizing what it's actually conveying there. And it deals with themes of trying to find your self-worth and realizing that everyone does make a difference, and you're making a difference. And the music, which was composed by Mark Mothersbaugh, is very moving and beautiful. And interesting enough, it does connect into the story at one point, and I thought that was a great way of really bringing this film together towards the end, and I thought it was very powerful and moving. And there's a scene directly relating to the music that does really hit home. And then we have our acting. Ben Stiller for mostly was great. Now, like, the voiceover bothered me at points, but overall I thought he did a really great job, and this was a standout and different performance for him. And Austin Abrams, who plays the son, and Jenna Fisher, who plays his wife, I thought did very good jobs of what they were supposed to do. And Michael Sheen, who has been popping up in a lot of things, I thought was really slimy and played off his role very great. and did such a fantastic job of doing what he was supposed to be doing. Overall, I think this movie was a tad pretentious, but overall, it does have that it factor of this is a great success of what it was trying to accomplish, and does really hit home on those themes and really does hit you in a real and meaningful way. I'm going to give Brad's status a B plus.